you all would love Olivia. She is a vice president that I coach at a large organization. And y'all, she is the quintessential it factor. She's got this great combo meal of passion and purpose that is perfectly aligned. She is one of those leaders that you would just like to clone and put her in every dang department in your organization. She's got the highest Gallup engagement scores. Her team is very trusting of her. And we were getting ready to meet, and she had just gotten out of a senior leadership team meeting, and she was frustrated. It was one of those meetings, the ones that you just keep replaying in your head over and over on the drive home. And when we met, Olivia said, "Heidi, I did everything right. I had the data, I was clear and concise, and yet my idea landed better out of somebody else's mouth." Then she said, "That is not about my confidence or my ambition." And you know what? She was right. It's about visibility and influence, and how well-intentioned leadership systems quietly filter them out. Not intentionally, not maliciously, but consistently. Here's why this matters to you as CEOs. Women represent half of your leadership pipeline. And yet, women are leaving the organization at alarming rates and senior leadership roles. From January through August of 2025 alone, over 455,000 women left the workforce. If we calculate that out, that's about 56,000 per month. That's enough to make you go, "Sheesh kebab, what the heck is going on?" It is not about the women not being able to do the work. When organizations lose this talent, they're not only losing people, they're losing institutional knowledge, leadership bench strength, and diversity of thought. I have been so fortunate in, over the last 20 years, coaching leaders, and I've distilled what moves careers and organizations forward into 7 leadership secrets. Today, I want to focus on 2: visibility and influence. And those 2 create the largest leadership lift for you as CEOs. Here is the core visibility gap that I see. Women leaders often wait to be invited in for visibility. Oftentimes, male leaders consider that visibility is part of belonging, and that they're always going to be engaged in that. Same capability, but different pathways, right? If visibility isn't leveraged, influence never happens. When you think about influence, it is key that you think about getting that visibility piece first, and then what is your visibility plan and influence plan? I work with women leaders who develop an influence map of the stakeholders, thinking about who are the folks that they need to focus on before the meeting. Because we all know that the meeting before the meeting is actually more important than the actual meeting. Here are 3 patterns I see throughout organizations. First is the meeting happens before the meeting. And being strategic for both men and women leaders to think about how we have those conversations so we increase our influence. That happens through relationships, timing, and narrative control. One of the second patterns that I see throughout organizations is that influence is often defined differently. The same behavior that's described as decisive in men is often described as difficult in women. Same capabilities, right? But different experiences. The third pattern that I see is that influence is leveraged through sponsorship. Mentors provide advice. And I think that most women have a plethora of opportunities to connect with mentors. Sponsors are a little bit of a different animal. Sponsorship is where senior leaders provide political capital. When women lack access to sponsorship, they don't stall loudly. They disengage quietly, or they leave. And y'all, that is exactly what happened with our friend Olivia. She left her organization and she went to go to another organization where she is thriving, and it is wonderful. But her former organization not only lost a key player and probably told themselves, it was just timing. In reality, they lost that fabulous connection of relationships. The leader that was seen as the go-to person to help solve issues, the one that orchestrated all the ease of the mergers that they had going on. And now she's able to do that in another organization, and she is appreciated. Visibility and influence help us even the playing field and get us where we need to be, and it is the smartest growth strategy for you to leverage as leaders. When women rise and rewrite rules, it's not about breaking rules, it's about rewriting rules intentionally for success in the organization. And I think your advantage as CEOs is recognizing your women leaders sooner and fixing the systems to make sure that everyone can bring their strengths. Thank you.